here in the pit lane of the Legends with Daniel Clark. And Daniel, it's quite an emotional weekend, isn't it? We're here obviously to remember Gerard McCosh. What are your memories of him?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Gerard, when I first started, when I came into this when I was 18, 19 year old, he kind of like showed me the ropes a little bit because we were both at the bottom of the grid. And he's been brilliant help. And the same with LB, he was helping us last year quite a lot with even just how to drive the car and big miss, really big miss.
What a nice honour it is. That parade, that's really going to be quite emotional, isn't it? What are you going to be thinking when you're behind the wheel?
Oh, just going to miss following that pig round, really.
I do remember seeing it last year. Did it put you off whilst racing, or was it not a problem?
No, it's just good to see. It's like a bit of sense of humour, which is what Gerard wasn't he? He's brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic. Look, everybody's racing, obviously, with a heavy heart here, but what are you expected from the weekend?
Better than Cadwell. Yeah, just the car's played up with me. I mean, doing a lot of practice this morning. I pulled out the pits and it just misfired and I came straight in. Yeah. By the time we found the problem, I pulled out and the red flag came out, so I haven't actually driven it yet.
Oh, really?
It was pretty badly bent after Cadwell, so we don't know if it's going to handle. No idea what's going to happen. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine, that's what I think. Daniel, thanks so much for the very kind words and best of luck for the racing.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you. Right, here we are with Nathan Anthony. Now, Nathan, it's quite an emotional weekend, isn't it, of course? Tell us about your memories of Gerard McCosh.
Gerard was just a great person to start with, and then as a competitor, he was just a great person. He was quick, but he was consistent. And I think that was one of the biggest things with Gerard, that he would always be there and he would always finish. And he was just a great person to race with because he would fight.
He had a wonderful character, didn't he? What was he like, sort of behind the scenes in the pit lane in the paddock?
Very, very much a gentleman. A gentleman through and through. You know, he spoke well, he dressed well, he was flamboyant in certain places. He drove nice, exotic cars. He lived life to the full. 100% lived life to the full. And if we should all take a leaf out of his book, really, because he just enjoyed every moment that he had.
He's going to be very sadly missed, isn't he? Of course.
Very sadly missed.
What are you expecting from this weekend?
Results-wise, we're obviously trying to get a maiden win.
Yep.
I think tomorrow on the Sunday we're going to have a poignant time to remember Gerard, and I think it's such a great thing to do. And it's, you know, with his families, you know, his girls and that are here, so that's just a great thing. Yeah. So, you know, rest in peace, Gerard, but we surely miss you. You're a great person.
Nathan, thank you for the incredible words, and have a wonderful weekend, won't you? Thank you very much. Right, I'm here with Mark Beattie. Now, Mark, it's a very emotional weekend, isn't it? We are remembering Gerard McCosh. What were your memories of him?
Just an absolute gentleman who was always kind of the heart and soul of the grid. He'd always make sure that he came to every single garage, spoke to you, he had time for everybody, and it was the same on the circuit. He was just a gentleman, it's a massive miss.
We've heard a lot of things about that. You say he was a gentleman, obviously behind the scenes. It must have been a real pleasure to share the paddock with him.
It was when he was awake. Half the time he was sat here asleep. But when he was, I mean, it's such a shame and just a sad time, to be honest. But it'll be good for him tomorrow. It's a bit of a good send off for him. So.
Well, we have that lovely parade lap, don't we? And I imagine you'll be behind the wheel. What's your fondest memory of Gerard?
Exactly what I said. Always asleep. Just always. He was always just propped up against somewhere asleep. Just not a care in the world.
How could you do that? You're about to go racing and just chill. How could you do it?
It's just relaxed, wasn't he? And just exactly. I wish I was there. I wish I was the same, to be honest. Like I say, just a massive miss. Just a great shape. So
it really is. Look, thanks for the very, very kind word, and of course, best of luck for the weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers. Right, here we are with John Mickle. Now, John, it's a very emotional weekend, of course, isn't it? We are remembering Gerard McCosh. Tell us about your memories of him.
I meet Gerard going back to 1998, 99, wow. 2000, when we first raced many moons ago, when these had square wheels, it seemed. No, we used to go to Scotland. He was always a gentleman driver. He always come and enjoyed himself. He said the racing never mattered because he was so laid back, but I think once he got behind the wheel, he would try his best. But he just turned up and had fun, and that's what Legends is all about. And it's great to pay his respects to him this weekend.
It really is. It really is. That lap tomorrow is obviously going to be very, very emotional. I've heard a few things about Gerard. He'd like to have a little nap. Is that right?
Yeah, he can sit in the deck chair and fall asleep, but so does most of my team. So they must be taking the feather out of his book.
John, thank you very, very, very nice words indeed. Best of luck for the weekend. Thank you, John Mickle. Right, I'm here with Miles Rugman, and of course, Miles, you knew Gerard McCosh reasonably well.
Yeah, I did. really nice person, you know, really friendly around the paddock. Always go out of his way to say hello to everybody, and yeah, it's a real shame really he's not here racing with us. So yeah, I think he was a big part of Legends, and yeah, like I say, he's a really nice guy.
He'll be very, very sadly missed, and of course we've got that very special parade lap coming up as well. What's your fondest memory going to be whilst you're circulating the track?
Probably just the kindness really, and you know, he's like I say, he was such a friendly guy. Always came out of his way to say hello and you know, speak to us and you know, see how we're getting on and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, like I say, he was a real kind person.
And we're going to miss that teddy bear as well, aren't we?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. So it's just a shame really, but yeah, I'm going to miss it.
It really is. Look, Miles, thank you for the very kind words. Gerard McCosh, very, very sadly missed here in the Legends paddock. Right, here we are with Chris Dewey. Now, Chris, it's quite an emotional weekend, isn't it? We are remembering, of course, Gerard McCosh. Tell us about your memories of him.
To be honest with you, the first time we met him, we'd done a test up at Knock Hill, and he was just a lovely bloke. He was there to give us a little bit of advice or whatever. Steely character underneath. When he was in his car, he's a steely character. And then I guessed it at Snetterton late last year. Me and Gerard were together. My first experience of bump drafting was Gerard pushing me down the Bentley Straight at Snetterton. So, oh yeah, we had great fun. Great fun. It's a great lad.
I can see there's clearly a lot of good memories there. He was a lovely bloke, was he? Like you said, a steely racer as well. He liked to turn the wheel, didn't he?
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. He's definitely committed. When he's behind the wheel, he's definitely committed.
I've also heard that he likes to have a little nap as well every now and again.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Why not? If you can get away with it, why not?
Chris, thank you so much for the lovely words. Gerard McCosh is very, very sadly missed. Thank you very much, Chris Dewey.
Cheers.
Right, here I am with Phil Cooper. Now, Phil, it's a very emotional day today, isn't it? Of course, we're remembering the wonderful Gerard McCosh. What were your memories of Gerard?
Oh, I could be here all day if I gave you the memories, but it started many years ago where Gerard was one of those characters that didn't really race. He just wanted to compete against a particular car. So, as for instance, we'd go out, do the green flag lap, he'd pull into pit lane and say, Phil, let me know when car 30 comes round, will you? I want to latch onto the back to see if I can pass it.
Wonderful.
And then halfway through the race, he'd pull in again. This time I want car 44.
Really?
And he was just a complete racer, didn't care about winning, didn't care about anything, just thoroughly enjoyed himself.
It was the thrill of motorsport,
absolutely,
wasn't it?
Absolutely. And he was such a gentleman to be around, you know, brilliant.
I've heard some lovely stories about him. One thing that he liked to have a nap. I've heard he was quite fond of having a little sleep. This is actually his car as well. It's quite a character, wasn't he? A true gentleman. You could just describe him one last time for us. Your fondest memory of Gerard?
Sitting in the car, ready to race, having a cigarette, but he also had a removable ashtray. So he'd have the cigarette in assembly, waiting, duck it out when they were ready to go, and the mechanic at the time would take the ashtray away, because it was in a slot on its own. And that was just, he'd just sit there very relaxed, smoking up. Brilliant, brilliant.
Wonderful stuff. Look, Phil, thank you for the very, very nice words indeed.
No
it's going to be very emotional today.
Very sadly missed, and a great friend he was as well.
Lovely, fantastic.
Good.
Thank you, Phil Cooper there, remembering the wonderful Gerard McCosh.
Well, once again, hearing some of the memories there from our Legends drivers as they pay tribute on track to the wonderful Gerard McCosh. As we were hearing there, Gerard very sadly passed away in February this year following a battle with cancer. He raced Legends in this car, number 69, for many years in its impressive maroon livery. And you can see on the back of the car there, number 69, his mascots. That's Napoleon the Pig, was Gerard's mascot. Began racing in the Scottish Legends Championship at Knock Hill in the late 1990s alongside the likes of Colin Noble, Ross and John Marshall and Ian McMurdo, among others. And Gerard's car leading the parade of Legends cars here in memory of its former driver. Greatly missed by everyone. A true eccentric was Gerard McCosh, it has to be said. He raced Legends, he raced a vintage Bentley at some events as well, based up in southern Scotland. And we heard some of the memories of his colleagues and many friends around the paddock. A very sad loss to legends. Gerard McCosh, we miss you greatly. Heard some of the stories from the drivers, how he could happily be found catching a quick snooze before his races in his deck chair in the pit garage, having a quick smoke before heading out on track, and just a true character around the paddock in his beautiful maroon Legend. Pensioner on board, it says on the back, and his mascot Napoleon accompanying him in every race as well. What a wonderful character Gerard McCosh was. So the The 69 car leading the Legends off then for this race. It's their first race of the day with Marcus Pett and John Mickle, the former multiple champion, on the front row. Beautiful looking car, the same maroon as his Bentley that he raced as well. Gerard in Bentley Drivers Club events, among others. Napoleon, the name of his mascot. I believe that comes from one of the pigs in Animal Farm by George Orwell, if memory serves me correctly. And the car leading the parade of Legends around, saluted by the marshals with their flags. Very sadly missed by everyone, Gerard McCosh. Marcus Pett on the front row there alongside John Mickle. Steve McGill in number 18. On the second row, this big field of Legends. They had a rather eventful day's racing yesterday. 3 races yesterday. John Mickle, number 57 Will Gibson, and 66 Stephen Whiteleg taking the wins. This will be a 10-lap race coming up after this very special parade in memory of the legend that is Gerard McCosh. A guard of honour from the marshals with their flags. Gerard's own number 69 Legend leading the cars around. If you've not seen these cars before, they're based on American hot rods built to a smaller scale, built in North Carolina, USA, powered by Yamaha Superbike engines. They are extremely quick, race extremely close. You'll see them bump drafting each other down the straights. Gerard McCosh, a man who raced them purely for fun, cost-effective way of racing. The drivers pay tributes to one of the real characters of the paddock as they head round the Brands Hatch Indy circuit. The marshals, a guard of honour with their flags. There we see Napoleon enjoying the breeze as always on the back of the Legend number 69. As the grid heads round, the grid decided by an out-of-the-hat draw for this race, incidentally, so the qualifying time's not having any bearing on the grid for the Legends. For the second race later on, the grid will be reversed, and then the results of the 2 shorter races decide the grid for the final later on. Marcus Pett, John Mickle, Stephen McGill. Alongside him, I think that's Jack Parker in the number 13, the blue and yellow car. Now to go round for a second lap of this parade of Legends in tribute to a lost legend. I was privileged enough to interview Gerard a couple of times in pit lanes. He always gave a terrific interview. And he raced purely for fun. He would challenge himself to try and take on a certain car, as we heard from the championship coordinator Phil Cooper earlier. was a pleasure to have known Gerard McCosh, as everyone else in the Legends paddock agrees. Always an entertainer on and off track. So once Gerard's car is safely back with his family, who are in the pit lane, who are here this weekend, we will get this race underway. Okay, so he goes past the pace car and he's going to complete one last lap, the 69 car, to allow the race to get underway. Everybody else will form up on the grid, ready for a rolling start. The 69 car will complete one last lap. Even Napoleon looks like he's waving to the crowd there. Well, thank you very much to Gerard McCosh for his entertainment on and off track over the years. Race legends for well over 20 years. He's missed greatly by everyone here at Brands Hatch this weekend, everyone in the UK National Legends paddock. So we say goodbye and thank you to Gerard McCosh. And we get ready to race in his memory. 10 laps coming up for the UK National Legends. Ready to hear the howl of these motorcycle-engined cars as the number 69 completes its final lap. Comes into the pit lane. The number has been retired now by Legends, incidentally. Thank you and goodbye, Gerard McCosh. We miss you. Okay, the field now rolling away then. Championship led by number 7, Miles Rudman, the man from Birmingham. John Mickle should start as the favourite here from the outside of the front row in the number 4. He's second in the points. Third in the point standings, number 21, which is Sean Smith. John Mickle and that chrome liveried car there alongside number 79, Marcus Pett, in pole position. He's 6th in the points after the opening rounds, which were at Cadwell Park. Second row, Stephen McGill and Jack Parker. Third row, Mike Schlupp in number 3, 67, which is Tom Brown. Watch for Stephen Whiteleg in the red, number 66. The very green car there, that's one of the Beattie family. That's Mark Beattie, number 85. Reigning champion further down this order, number 1, Daniel Clark, former supercar racer. Comes from Newcastle. He's towards the back of the grid in this one. As we say, the grid decided by ballot earlier on today. Fine field of Legends cars out there. Get ready to feel the noise. I'm looking forward to this race. Head round, the marshals display the green flags, and once the pace car is into pit lane, we will be underway over 10 laps. It was an incident-packed day for the Legends yesterday. Let's see what they can do here. Marcus Pett on pole, Mickle alongside, then McGill, Parker, Schlupp, Brown. 49 is David Ward. 333 Bill Reed alongside him. There's Daniel Clark with the yellow numbers. Number 1 His wife Elby Clark, number 15, behind him on the grid. Number 2 at the back is James Newbury. 10 laps of Legends racing here at Brands Hatch then. This isn't going to take long. Pace car is in pit lane. They come up towards the red lights. Gerard McCosh, this one's for you, sir. Revs rise and they howl away down towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. It's a good start by John Mickle. He'll take the lead in the number 4. There's Will Gibson on the outside, number 57. Had a win in yesterday's second race. 3 races per day for the Legends here at Brands Hatch. It's John Mickle who leads from Marcus Pett, number 18, Stephen McGill, the Scotsman, up into 3rd place. Looks like he's got his own, quite a lot of the cars have got their own Napoleon tribute mascots on the back of them, you'll notice as well, in memory of Gerard McCosh this weekend. John Mickle leads as they slide their way through Graham Hill Bend for the first time. 85 out wide onto the grass. We've got somebody has gone off on the inside. I think that was Dave Ward, the orange car. He's getting going again. The 85 of Mark Beattie ran wide onto the grass there as well. So it's Mickle who leads from Pett. McGill. Parker is in 4th place. It's the 67 of Tom Brown in 5th position. Here comes Stephen McGill having a look on the inside. Brown being bump drafted by Mike Schlupp further back. Here comes some bump drafting from Stephen McGill, just tapping the bumper together there. That is allowed in Legends racing. As they complete the first lap, it is John Mickle with the lead ahead of Marcus Pett, Stephen McGill, Jack Parker, Tom Brown, then Mike Schlupp, Chris Brockhurst in 7th, the ex-Super Silhouette racer in 89. Nathan Anthony is 8th. Miles Rudman, the points leader, is 9th. And Stephen Whiteleg rounds out the top 10. Down the hill, into the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend, and Jack Parker trying to force his way past Stephen McGill. A single file now around the Brands Hatch circuit. Watch for Daniel Clark coming through, the reigning champion. Number 99, that's Gareth Sheridan. First full season in the category for him. Stephen McGill, a bit of a twitch there at Clearways. Holds off the number 13 of Jack Parker. John Mickle, it is out in front, the most successful driver in the championship over the years, number 4. There's Chris Brockhurst in the turquoise number 89 car, being bump drafted by Miles Rudman, a former champion a couple of years ago. Looking to win another title this year. He's currently leading the points. Charge their way through these pocket rockets, as they're known. Through Druids for the 3rd time. Marcus Pett holding 2nd place. He's going well in the 79. Jack Parker, the West Midlander, in number 13, chasing Stephen McGill. Comes from Bowness in Scotland. A bit of dust been kicked up there, up at Druids. That's why Paul Simmons has gone off in the 51. So Paul Simmons has come to grief at Druids. Hopefully that won't lead to a safety car. First 4 breaking away slightly now in this race 1 of the day for the Legends. Racing in memory of Gerard McCosh. Side by side for 5th, Mike Schlupp and Miles Rudman. And it's Brockhurst, Nathan Anthony in the yellow car, Stephen Whiteleg in red. Here's a battle further back, 35, Neil Shenton, the ex-Formula 1 stock car racer, attacking 22 of Chris Dewey. Great racing all the way down the order from these little cars. There's Nathan Anthony, the number 29, the first for Van's car. That's a Legend van, the only one in existence. You can see the rear windows panelled in there. Will Gibson, the black and blue car behind number 57, looking for his 2nd win of the weekend. He's chasing Sean Smith in the 21. We've got more cars off this contact there. Mark Beattie, 85. I think that's Gareth Sheridan off in the 99 on the left of your picture. He's missing a rear fender. There's been some contact there, I think. Jack Parker still chasing 2nd and 3rd. We may be able to get a replay of that incident, see what happened up at Druids. See it again here. Yes, there was contact. It was Gareth Sheridan and Mark Beattie tangling there. The 85 left facing the wrong way, damage to the 99 car, but luckily nobody else piled into them. Already on lap 5, so nearly halfway through this thrash for the Legends. Oh, and contact into Druids. Jack Parker into the side of Stephen McGill. That's the end of his race. Flying up into the air there, Jack Parker. Tried to go up the inside of Stephen McGill to challenge for 3rd place and ended up taking off. Goodness me, that could have been nasty. Into Druids there. They were side by side for 2nd. McGill making the move on Marcus Pett. Parker thought he saw room on the inside. There wasn't room, and wallop. He was lucky not to roll that car over there. That is very much the end of Jack Parker's race. We'll wait to see if Stephen McGill is damaged as well. You can see a bit of bodywork damage to the number 18, but he's still going. Yellow flag is waving. I think we're going to have a safety car. Yes, the safety car is coming out because of those stranded cars up at Druids. Jack Parker, I can tell you, is out of the car. He's okay. Well, there he is, Jack Parker, the man from Wolverhampton in the West Midlands. Sponsored by Standerford Cafe. I think he's going to need more than a cup of coffee after that one. So the safety car out to allow the marshals to recover. Look at the state of the 13 car, suspension broken. Looks a bit worse than it is because the doors left open there. Just took off over the front of Stephen McGill, tried to find room on the inside, couldn't get through, and up and over he went, lucky not to roll it. John Mickle, your leader then, and while that was going on, Miles Rudman has come through into second in the number 7 because of that mayhem. He somehow got through on the inside. McGill is third, Marcus Petts down to fourth. Mike Schlupp is up to fifth in number 3. Nathan Anthony is sixth. Then Sean Smith, number 21, has come through well into 7th. Then we've got Chris Brockhurst, Will Gibson in 57. Mr. Plough, as some call him, because of his habit of finding gravel traps. I'm going to be in trouble. I'm in trouble with Will Gibson for mentioning that. And Stephen Whiteleg in 10th in the 66. There is another car, of course, to be recovered. Paul Simmons in the K-Seal coolant leak repair 51 car to be recovered from Druids. And you can see there, many of the drivers have got tribute Napoleon pigs of their own on the back of their cars in memory of Gerard McCosh this weekend. Paul Simmons gets a push from a couple of the Orange Army, the volunteer marshals. That's the end of his race. Have we lost anybody else further back? Yeah, 47, Danny Budd has retired. There's the number 2 of James Newbury. And in fact, we have a red flag. The red flag is out. I wonder if that means the result is going to be declared. Yes, the red is out. The red lights are on around the circuit, so the race has been stopped. Now, is that going to be a result declared, I wonder, because they would have spent another 3 laps behind the safety car. I would imagine that the result will be declared at that point. We'll have to wait and see. If so, it will be a win for John Mickle, his second of the weekend in number 4. Ahead of Miles Rudman and Stephen McGill. Checkered flag has come up on the timing screen, so we'll just await confirmation there of what's going to happen. As I say, I would imagine that is end of race. Recovery vehicle making its way up towards Druids. Still behind the safety car at the moment. Is it going to lead them into pit lane, or are they going to stop on the grid? That will give a clue as to what's going to happen next. John Mickle and Miles Rudman, 2 title favourites out front. They were beaten to the title by Daniel Clark last year. He's only made it up to 15th from the back of the grid in this one. The luck of the draw against him, quite literally. There's number 91, the gold cart, Scott Bourne, the ex-pickup champion. Back in Legends, ex-national hot rod racer as well. Now they are pulling the cars up on the grid, so we're going to wait and see what happens here, whether the race is going to resume. Now the timing screen has been set back to lap 5, so we might see a 5-lap restart here, I think. We may be getting going again with this one. I wondered if that was going to be end of race, but I think they're going to try and restart it. Yes, Marshall's on the grid, and they are signalling them into grid order, the drivers, by the look of it, so I think we're going to see a 5-lap restart. see the torn fiberglass bodywork there on Jack Parker's car as Paul Simmons is towed in, his car breaking down. And the 13th car is about to be lifted by the recovery vehicle. Certainly was unlucky 13 for Jack Parker, wasn't it? And here's how you recover a legend. Put the hook around the roof on the roll cage. Up it goes. Very lightweight cars, the Legends. Nice and straightforward recovery. So the cars in single file then. We are going to restart this race. And they've actually reset it to 10 laps, I think, so it looks like we are going to see a full rerun. I'll wait and confirm that in a second. That's what's come up on my timing screen. John Mickle, Miles Rudman, Stephen McGill, Marcus Petts, Mike Schlupp in the grey camo liveried number 3. Nathan Anthony, the first for Van's car, number 29. 21, that's Sean Smith. And then we got number 89, Chris Brockhurst, new to Legends this season. Will Gibson in the 57, Stephen Whiteleg in the Bridgman Motorsport number 66 car. The gold car is Scott Bourne, the ex-pickup champion. Behind him, 67, Tom Brown, another of the Bridgman cars. He's a newcomer this year. 40 is Connor Hughes. Neil Shenton in 35, and there's the reigning champion, number 1, Daniel Clark. Nick Bridgman, number 68 in the blue car. 22 is Chris Dewey. 30, that's Andy Bird. And the grey car there, that's the 33, I think, of Kieran Beattie. 44 is Charlie Budd. Behind him, 26, Ricky Leggett. Good to see him back out. LB Clark is in there, Bill Turner, Dave Ward, Gareth Sheridan. 3-2-1 is driven by Florian Robin. Mark Beattie, James Newbury, there's Sheridan. 43 in there is Stuart McAndrew. And at the back, that's the number 82 car of Ben McNeese. So that's your lineup in the Legends then, lined up single file. The timing screen is now reset. We're going to get a 3-lap restart because they were on lap 7 as the race was red flagged. So it'll be 3 laps, 3-lap sprint for the line in this Legends race, and the pace car about to lead them away. Apologies for the momentary confusion there. 3 laps for the Legends. This is not going to take long. Stephen Whiteleg there, number 66, he had a win yesterday. 40, Connor Hughes. Any one of these drivers could still win it, given the nature of Legends racing. We've seen how close it is. Plenty of slipstreaming and bump drafting. We'll see plenty of slipstreaming in our next race as well. More on that in a moment. And with only 3 laps, this is going to be a real frantic sprint for the line. I'm looking forward to this. Miles Rudman already positioning himself to attack John Mickle. They can't pass until they reach the start-finish line, of course. Stephen McGill, Marcus Petts, Mike Schlupp, your top 5. The power already starting to come on for this rolling restart. Here we go. Race car is in the pit lane and away they go. Down towards Paddock Bend for the first time. Mike Schlupp moving out wide to try and take 4th place. John Mickle got the restart he wanted. He leads. They charge their way through Paddock Bend. Marcus Petts has held off Mike Schlupp there for 4th place. The 3 leaders have broken away slightly, and Miles Rudman in the black number 7, the man from Birmingham, having a go for the lead. Stephen McGill, the Scotsman, in 3rd in number 18. He's had a consistent weekend so far, thankfully escaping with only minimal damage in that collision with Jack Parker that brought out the red flags. Mickle leads. Rest of the field charge their way through, getting sideways through Graham Hill Bend, some of them. There's Dan Clark, the reigning champion, attacking Tom Brown in the 67. Mickle from Rudman. They've been the most successful drivers of the last few years, but beaten to the title last year by Daniel Clark in the reduced season. McGill in 3rd, starting to drop away a little now. Then it's Petts and Schlupp. Nathan Anthony is still there in 6th position ahead of Sean Smith. Over the line they go. Miles Rudman goes to the outside, going up high and wide through Paddock Hill Bend. High, wide and handsome, as the late great Brian Jones, the voice of Brands Hatch for so many years, would have said, and they're almost side by side there. It's a great cloud of dust coming out of Paddock Bend. Somebody's run wide, didn't see who it was. Down the hill, Mickle still holds off Rudman. Swing their way through Graham Hill Bend. McGill 3rd, then Petts, Schlupp, Sean Smith is next, and Will Gibson's got past Nathan Anthony as well. He's lost 2 places there through that section of the lap. Leaders through into clearways. McGill still holding up 3rd place. A little bit of a lock up there from 21 of Sean Smith. First for Van's car, Nathan Anthony losing a bit of ground. Over the line they go. 1 more lap to go. Can John Mickle hang on for win number 2 this weekend? Miles Rudman looking for his first win of the weekend, the points leader from the opening rounds at Cadwell, and he is ready to attack. Here comes Miles Rudman. He's up the outside. They're side by side on the entry to Druids. He needs to keep the car there and try and get the inside line away for Graham Hill Bend, but John Mickle's having none of it. The vastly experienced racer in number 4 hangs on. Rudman will try again in the last couple of corners. Plenty of battling behind, but we concentrate on the 2 leaders. Will it be Mickle or Rudman? It's between these 2 for race victory here at Brands Hatch in this UK National Legends race. Here they come into clearways the last time. Rudman is going to try and position himself. He's going to have to slipstream Mickle, I think, on the Brabham Straights. I don't think he's going to do it. He'll try his hardest to cut back to the inside here, Miles Rudman, but it's going to be number 4, John Mickle, who takes the win in our Legends race. 2nd goes to Miles Rudman. The rest of them across the line. Stephen McGill 3rd, then Marcus Petts, Mike Schlupp, Will Gibson took 6th ahead of Sean Smith, then Nathan Anthony, Scott Bourne and Stephen Whiteleg rounding out the top 10. Next through Neil Shenton, Connor Hughes, Dan Clark made it up to 13th, Nick Bridgman 14th, and the rest of them charge across the line. Gerard McCosh, that one was for you, and I'm sure he was looking down with great pride. Brilliant stuff there from the Legends. Last couple of cars across the line, and well done to John Mickle, holding off the attacks of Miles Rudman there to take another win to add to his long list. And that beautiful chrome number 4. 333 waving to the crowd. That's Bill Reed. And in memory of Gerard McCosh there, the marshals signalling them into the pit lane. We'll confirm the results in a second. John Mickle the winner by 0.27 of a second ahead of Miles Rudman. Stephen McGill about just over a second further back in 3rd. Marcus Pett was 4th ahead of Mike Schlupp, with Will Gibson rounding out the top 6. Sean Smith in 7th ahead of Nathan Anthony. Scott Bourne and Stephen Whiteleg rounding out the top 10 ahead of Neil Shenton. Then Connor Hughes. Champion Dan Clark in 13th ahead of Nick Bridgman. And Tom Brown, one of our newcomers, rounding out the top 15. Behind them in 16th, it was Chris Brockhurst. He dropped back in the closing stages, ahead of Chris Dewey. And Andy Bird, number 30, was 18th. Kieran Beattie and Ricky Leggett rounding out the top 20. Charlie Budd was next ahead of Bill Reid. Then Dave Ward, 23rd. Mark Beattie and the number 86 of John Critchlow rounding out the top 25. Elby Clark was next home ahead of Gareth Sheridan, Florian Robin, and James Newbury and Stuart McAndrew completing the top 30. The other finisher was Ben McNeese. We lost, of course, Jack Parker, Paul Simmons and Danny Budd. Right, so we can now hand down into Park Ferme, where Ian Waterhouse will be waiting to talk to our race winner.
Right, everybody, welcome down to Park Ferme and another exciting Legends race. They're always exciting, aren't they? Twinged with rather a lot of emotion. What a wonderful tribute that was to the late, great Gerard McCosh. Here's your race winner, John McKell, just coming down. Just going to park him right in front of us. That's particularly handy, I have to say. Thank you. And here he comes, your race winner, John McKell. Wonderful stuff. Miles Rodman obviously coming home second as well. Steve McGill in third. We'll grab a quick word with John. Are they going to switch the engine off? Let's just wait to see if they do that. And he is. So John, what a wonderful race to win that one is. Probably especially important to you with celebrating Gerard McCosh's wonderful life.
Yeah, it was nice to win for Gerard. As I said before, I've known Gerard for a lot of years and done a lot of laps with Gerard, so it was nice to get that one for him. Yeah, be sadly missed, but yeah, at least the quick steel car was quick and Miles was very quick behind us, but it'd be nice to pull out a win. But that one was for Gerard.
Top man, well done, John McKell. We've got 2 Miles Rodman. If you've got time to stick around with us down here at Park Ferme, let's do it. Miles Rodman here. He's got his helmet off as well, which is handy. Coming home in second place, pushed John the whole way, didn't he? Even right up until the very, very final corner, but couldn't quite manage to get past him. But second place, still a fantastic result. They're just bringing him forward. Look at these machines, aren't they? Incredible, aren't they? It's like something out of Back to the Future almost, isn't it? Old hot rods. Miles, maybe a couple more laps or so and you might have got John, but a very emotional race, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, you know, yeah, there's quite a lot going on as usual in Legends cars, but yeah, we only had really 3 laps to go and I'd only just got into second, and to be honest, I didn't want to do anything too crazy. I just kind of sat there really and just thought I'll get a decent finish. We've still got 2 more races to go, so yeah, just accumulating the points really.
That's it, top man. Thanks, Miles. Congratulations. We've got, if we've still got time, Stephen McGill here as well. Let's grab a quick word with Stephen. Stephen, congratulations. Made it on the podium. Quite an emotional race, though, I imagine.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. We were quite friendly with Gerard as well, so that one was for Gerard. So.
Top man, well done, Steve. I'll let you guys crack on. It's very hot in those cars, and the 2 CVs are heading out on track. I'll hand over to commentator Dave Goddard to take you through the next race.